What happened when you arrived in Japan for the first time?
Yeah.
With your research?
Yeah. I'd watched Pride, obviously, but being there for the first time and knowing this is my dream. This is pro wrestling that's real. But there you go. Almost sabotaged from the very beginning. I get to Japan. I've got copious notes on everybody, on the promotion, on everything. And this is my Bible. This is my security blanket, as Linus of the Peanuts strip would say.
And this is your big break.
This is my big break. This is it. Everything. This is make or break for me. For health-wise, nobody knows. But career-wise, are you kidding me? The biggest promotion at the time and my dream job. I get to Japan. And it's fine. It's kind of ironic, or I don't know if that's a proper usage of the word, but Carlos Yoon was on the first card with me. Fellow Canadian, first UFC champion. I meet him in the airport. Hey, how's it going? We're talking. I get into a conversation with him. Leave my book there. End up on the bus. We all take a bus. It was about a 2.5-hour bus ride from Narita to where we were staying in downtown Tokyo. Halfway through the ride, gotta start looking at my notes. There are no notes. And that's it. I'm almost, verge of having another breakdown. Like, this is it. Someone is trying to tell me that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, dudes. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm over. My life is done. Where are my notes? Notes are gone. I'm screwed. Buddy, later that night, never, ever forget this. Knock on my door. And it's and I wish I'm an idiot. I usually remember everyone's names. And I don't remember this gentleman's name, and it's ridiculous because unbelievable. Dude, one of the Pride people, PA, whatever, saw what was going on, went back to the Narita airport, brought my notes back to me later that night, still get goosebumps. And I'm trying to give him money. I'm trying to give him anything. You've saved my life. No, sir, thank you. Thank you, sir. It was just everything aligned perfectly. And then, even then, when I saw that, I go, wow, these people are amazing. And I fell in love with the Japanese culture. To this day, the fact that I was able to commentate some of the most memorable matches in MMA history and just be a part of that experience of being in Japan. And I'm so sad that Pride is no longer here because so many, even yourself. Yes, the Las Vegas shows they did, amazing, great. They tried. It's not the same as being in Japan. And I really wish every true diehard MMA fan would have experienced at least one Pride production at the Saitama Super Arena. Tremendous.
Before we get to how it ended, what is the greatest call that you had while a member of the Pride broadcast team?
The one that I think has been the most polarizing, and I think for those who truly understand me and know me and my style, the reality of it is obviously Randleman and Krokop. That call when they're pushing the trinity of MMA, Emelianenko, Nogueira, and Krokop for this huge tournament. Kevin Randleman, a guy who I still think, wow, the most potential of anyone I've ever seen, a former champion who unfortunately due to injury and other circumstances I don't think has ever realized or probably will ever realize his full potential, but what a tremendous personality, obviously a guy who got it, a guy who would have made millions in pro wrestling. But yeah, when he knocked out Krokop and my reaction at that moment, I didn't even realize I was a commentator. And I've been told many, many, many times that was the reaction of people at home. That's what the So that probably is my most, my down goes Frazier moment, I guess, if you were.
Your debut for Pride, very much a feel-good story.
Sure.
But your departure was a bitter one.
Yeah.
What happened?
I had issues right away with the American executive producer, and it's even weird to bring up now because I've actually seen Jerry Millen since. I will shake hands, whatever. He's not a fan of mine. I'm not a fan of his. I did not like the way he did his job and what he tried to do to try to get rid of me, by accusing me of some very unbelievable things, Boss and I both. And it was funny because it was at a time where I thought things were almost becoming better, or at least workable with us. I was never going to be friends with him, never going to send him a Christmas card, but on a professional level, we could do this. And I remember talking to Boss on the phone and like, wow, that was a great show, Jerry, let us do everything. Wow, I think this can work. I think this can work. And Boss was very quiet. And he's like, God, Mauro, I can't believe I have to tell you this. I'm like, what? He's like, you're in a good mood, everything. This is what he just did. Okay. He told the people about whatever he thought we accused us of doing something illegal. So the next trip to Japan, I demanded a sit-down meeting with everybody. And my bosses in Japan the next morning came up when we were going to the boss. Moto-san, we never hear the F word so many times in half an hour in our lives. I'm like, yeah, sorry about that. No, very, very impressive. You stand up for yourself. So anyway, that was that. And to be honest, we heard the rumblings of, it was just 31 times. And again, having accomplished everything there, the writing was on the wall about Pride, with all the rumors about the whatever was going on with the Yakuza scandal or the Fuji situation. I said enough's enough.
At any point, did you think, maybe I made a mistake?
No, I never looked back. Never looked. In fact, it was, as I told Boss Rutan and now Stephen Quadros, who also went through his issues with Pride, who I now work with. It was a breath. It was like a huge sigh of relief, and I feel to this day so bad for the organization and the fighters. Although, of course, obviously many of them went on to great success, both in UFC and now Strikeforce. But wow, nothing lasts forever. But man, oh man, Pride was something else.
How'd you get the Elite XC job?
That came through, again, Showtime. I think what had happened, they were in the midst of putting together their MMA package, and I guess David Dinkins, executive producer of Showtime Sports, and others had obviously heard my work in Pride and liked my style and whatnot. To be honest with you, I think the team's in place right now, especially my Challengers team, getting to work with Pat Miletich, who is unbelievable. Talk about a natural. And then the fight professor, Stephen Quadros, which I kind of get a kick out of because for a long time everyone said, the two former Pride announcers must hate each other. I replaced Stephen Quadros. Well, actually, no, I replaced Damon Perry. So no, I'm very, very pleased with where everything is now, and I think even the UFC, contrary to what maybe they say, the competition, and it's not even, UFC is the juggernaut. Strikeforce is trying to carve out its niche of the market, give athletes an opportunity to fight, be it on Showtime, gives them original programming, and obviously so far been so good. I mean, Ken Hirschman, and like I say, David Dinkins and everyone there, and really a guy that I want to single out here because I know the CBS shows maybe have not gone the way we would have liked. Kelly Call, the executive VP of programming for CBS, just an amazing individual, and I want to make sure I publicly say that. The guy has gone above and beyond trying to help the sport of MMA reach the masses. And whether or not we return to CBS, Kelly Call's always going to be in my Hall of Fame.
Gina Carano, a bit of a negative situation for you there. What did you mean to say that night? 25-centimeter pole, and what happened to you as a result?
Well, there was this quote that came out of the press conference with Tanya Evinger and Gina Carano. Tanya says, "I'd rather make out with Gina, but I'm here to knock her out instead." I thought, well, that's weird. Interesting. So that's something I think would lend some spice to the broadcast. So they're doing they're fighting. And I bring up, wow, an interesting quote was said at the press conference. I say it. Bill Goldberg goes, "I'm not going to touch that with a 25-foot pole." And me, in my mind, thinking, okay, well, it was an idiotic move, I guess, in hindsight, very much. But it wasn't what came out to be. I said, I would like to see them kiss, maybe. So I would touch it with a 25-centimeter pole, meaning I'll be closer to seeing them kiss. Of course, no judge probably in any court is going to believe me. I understand that now. But, man, yeah, I wish I'd never said what I said, obviously. And it did. It cost me, Did
you think for a second you might have blown it?
Not at the time, because I just really didn't. In my mind, my God, Mauro, yes, I understand why people think what they think, but I'll admit when I'm an idiot, and I've been an idiot many times. That wasn't what I intended.
How surreal was October 4th, 2008?
Yeah, how surreal was that? Weird. That's all I can say about that was weird. What was going on backstage, what was happening. In hindsight, though, maybe the best thing ever. I mean, Elite XC, I call them the Dolly Parton organization. Come on. Way too top-heavy, my friend. And and Kimbo Slice, bless him, all the money he made. Great guy. I've had a chance to talk to Kimbo. I know that Elite XC, just like Strikeforce, has to have that niche. I never begrudge anyone for having a gimmick to try to separate yourself from the juggernaut that is the UFC. In hindsight, wow, a surreal night, exactly. But not surprising at all. Petrozelli, I knew Petrozelli was going to beat him. Petrozelli's an MMA fighter. Kimbo Slice was not an MMA fighter at the time. And, I hear he could be going to boxing now. I mean, the guy's a huge name. It's amazing. and how much Kimbo Slice has been branded, and you know, I applaud him. He's doing it well. It's like anybody else. You know, Ryan Seacrest. A lot of people make fun of Ryan Seacrest. Guy makes what, $50 million a year doing what he does. Bless him. You know, a lot of hate, a lot of envy, a lot of jealousy. I don't begrudge anyone making a living, but I wasn't a fan of the Elite XC era just because of what I saw. It wasn't good for MMA.
Who killed the Elite XC?
Man, variety of people.
I don't want person in particular.
I don't think there are any names really. I think it was just, again, they imploded. Like they were a foundation built on, you know, chopsticks. It just collapsed.
I see you have the suit on your bed.
Yes.
You're about to get ready.
We're about to get ready.
What are we wearing tonight?
Well, I'm, as you know, a very a fashion statement. Gus Johnson says I'm one of the worst dressed people in the history of the world.
Really?
Yeah, but and he's right, by the way. But he helped me get a Hugo Boss shirt. But look at this, monogrammed. M. Ranallo. This was a gift that was given me. This suit was given to me by a very prominent person. I don't want to say where because then you'll see how old the suit is.
Well, who's the prominent person?
Well, I can't say because then you'll know how old the suit is. And then I got my Oscar de la Renta dress shirt, even pressed, dry cleaned. Now, Esther, she's the only woman in the room. Which tie will go with this ensemble, ma'am? Any of these jump out at you?
Let's see.
Maybe? This one?
I do like that one.
Okay, good. That's the one.
I'm not a fan of the one in the middle.
Yeah, this one doesn't work with that. And this one I don't think fits either, so we'll go with that one. So yeah, I mean...
do you have a stylist?
Unfortunately, I maybe should spend more time on the fashion stuff, but I'm busy. I'm researching. I'm watching fights.
You're a fan.
I'm a fan, man.
At the end of the day,
I'm a fan.
Call fights.
At the end of the day, buddy, I am just blessed that I get to sit in the best seat in the house and watch the greatest sport on earth. I've done hockey. I was actually hired to do Western Hockey League, the first play-by-play announcer for the Chilliwack Bruins. I did not accept the job because I went to Toronto. I've done all sports. I've the two great loves of my life, MMA, professional wrestling, and I'm very fortunate to be able to do both in a variety of ways. And like I say, when I get plaudits from guys like WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross, Al Bernstein, I mean, so many other great announcers, that's the best feedback I can get are from my peers. And thankfully, and thanks to people like you and other, I hope that within even the MMA community, the online community, the journalists and whatnot, that I seem to have a pretty good relationship with them. And again, to those, you know, the keyboard warriors as they're called, thank God we live in a world, or in a place, not a world, a continent, where you're allowed to say what you like, and we can choose to either, you know, want to read it or listen to it or not, and that's the thing. I'm just very, very grateful that I've been able to do what I was put on earth to do, and I think the best is yet to come.
Finally, you say you have accomplished everything you have dreamt of in your life. Anything else out there? Is there one thing?
Yes. Any studios out there. My goal, I want to be a movie trailer guy. I want to be the guy when you go to the movies. Coming soon, Paramount Pictures presents a love story between Ariel Helwani and his microphone.
And even if that doesn't happen,
sure.
The kid who was just a pro wrestling fan in British Columbia, the guy who in 2003 only had $7,000, who was depressed in the hospital.
Oh, buddy,
you've done a lot.
You know, knock on the wood. I drop dead right this moment. Thank you, God, for the life you've given me.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
A huge honor for me.
Awesome, very nice.
One of, if not the best in the business, right
Thank
here.
you.
Shaking hands with Casey. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I'm trying to say goodbye to you, and you're rolling all over the place.
Say goodbye to everybody.
This man, Mauro Ranallo, one of the best, a huge inspiration to me. Thank you so much for allowing us into your world and allowing us to go backstage with you.
Best MMA reporter in the business.
Mauro Ranallo.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, you guys.